Hello, guys and girls. How are you? Have you ever heard this?
You gotta learn the fundamentals.
You gotta learn the fundamentals.
Learn the fundamentals, man.
Yo, bro. You gotta learn those fundamentals, man. I am so disappointed that you don't know the fundamentals yet. The fundamentals. What are they? Find out next. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another video. Today, on this nighttime discussion about life, philosophy, and everything art, I wanted to talk a little bit about why the fundamentals are so fundamental. We're going to go a little bit in depth. I'm going to give you guys some examples and like tips and hints that I can possibly give you guys for this topic. What are those fundamentals? Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the two fundamentals that I find to be the most important if you want to draw any sort of cartoons or characters or any artwork like the type I do. So, what are those two fundamentals? Because everybody keeps on always repeating it, right? Learn your fundamentals. Learn your fundamentals. Well, the fundamentals for cartooning and illustration, it's anatomy and perspective. That's simple. Other than that, you guys having those fundamental skills, you guys can apply that to stylization. You guys can apply that to anything relevant. You can draw pretty much everything if you can master those two skills. Perspective. Yeah, perspective is definitely one of them. And the other one, anatomy. Because I know that most of you guys out there have their own characters that they want to develop and you guys want to be able to bring to life. Possibly 2D animation, possibly animated, possibly just, for books. Anything like that can be done with those two fundamentals. All you got to do is sprinkle in your imagination and what you guys want to draw. But if you guys master anatomy and perspective, those two will carry you a very long way. And you can very, very, very much tell the difference between a person that doesn't know it and a person that does. Now, how do we go about making it so it's not just completely boring to be able to practice these two skills? Well, simple. If you have a character that you actually like, a character that you've developed, an original character, anything like that, you can always take that character and start breaking down his body parts. Try to break him down at first by, like the body and the arms and the shoulders and the hands. Just super nice and simple and nice blocky shapes. Once you start doing that, you can start moving around your character. You can start moving them in 3D. And that's where the perspective comes in. You need to be able to use both. So, how do we practice these fundamentals without boring ourselves to death by drawing things that we don't want to draw? Well, I'm going to give you guys a couple tips for each one of them. Leave yours in the comment section. Who knows? Maybe you guys have a really cool way that I, don't really think of right now. And I always love your input. So, let's get to it. Anatomy. Okay, anatomy is a little daunting at first. It really is. It's considerably hard to pick up knowing what each muscle is called, what each facial feature is accented by, everything like that. But if you start going slow and you go like I did it, I started with just drawing heads. I would literally just draw heads. And then I started, drawing skulls underneath to make sure that my heads looked like a normal person's in it. They weren't oblong and they weren't like, misshapen. I would just try to see if a skull fit inside of it. Then from that point on, I try to find out how the neck connects to the rest of the body. And then since I was using my own character, I just kept on feeling like I was discovering new aspects and new cool ways to draw him. And once I learned how to do it with one character, and then just went little by little, just going down the body until you get to the end, and then maybe your poses will be really static. But then, since you already know all of the stuff that puts together a body, the stylization of it at that point in the posturing, it's just a matter of looking at a picture. And then you'll be able to just piece everything together really, really quick. It's really satisfying when you realize that you know how to draw a certain body part now because you actually put a little bit of effort and studied what real anatomy does. You can always simplify from there. If the more you know, the more knowledge that you can put inside your head, the more you're going to be able to draw from memory. You're going to be able to draw amazing exaggeration. You're going to be able to draw an incredible amount of detail that a person that doesn't know or doesn't have that knowledge is going to be able to do. And the beauty of it is that it never stops coming at you. Like, things start clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking. If you have hard time drawing hands, well, try drawing skeleton hands. And then once you get skeleton hands that would be pretty much like stick figures, once you guys get those done, you can start adding complex shapes to it. You can start adding the segments of the fingers. You guys can start adding the padding on your palms. You guys will eventually be able to draw more complex and more complex shapes because you guys will be working with perspective and anatomy and just slowly building on top of the knowledge that you already have. It's really fun how it happens. It still happens to me now. Like, lately I've just been on a pin-up drawing like craze and just studying anatomy and like reference pictures and just other people's artwork, and oh my god, it's amazing. Once it starts clicking, it doesn't stop unless you guys stop it. So let me give you guys a good book that you guys can reference. Figure Drawing Design and Invention by Michael Hampton. Right there. This book is amazing. If you want to learn anatomy, it really does go through everything that you really need to know. And as long as you have the time and the patience to actually read through it and draw alongside everything, you guys will have a very much more so understanding of anatomy. I still learn things from this, and I've had this for 4 years. So it's like $15 or something. Pick it up. It's actually worth it. On to the other one. Perspective. See, perspective to me always seemed boring. Up until very recently. It always seemed so boring. I was like, oh man, perspective. The only thing I'm going to be able to do when I draw with perspective is going to be buildings and backgrounds. I don't want to do that. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mr. I Hate Perspective, but perspective's in everything. You need perspective to be able to draw a proper character. You need perspective to understand how things go into a 3D space so you can change the view angles to be able to make dynamic images. Even being able to just draw a simple shadow takes a little bit of perspective, like doing it properly. The way that I like to do it, so I don't get bored out of my mind just drawing buildings and cities, I just, like before, I break down any character into little shapes and then I try to reposition them and then just draw them out. And then position them again, those same shapes, and then draw him out. So essentially you treat your character as blocks. And since you can move those blocks in 3D, by knowing perspective. Single point and double point perspective are probably the easiest things to learn when it comes down to it. It's being able to put it in your head that you can actually start rotating things. It just makes your like brain go like sometimes, because you know what it's supposed to look like, but it's so hard to put it out there. You know, sometimes it's just like you just can't put it in your head to be able to twist it right. And that's one of the most frustrating feelings in the world. But if you actually practice enough perspective tutorials, and like there's a ton of books about landscapes, but for example, the one person that I really enjoyed learning background design from is Feng Zhu. Feng Zhu? I think his name is Feng Zhu. No, I'll check it out right there. So this dude is amazing. The way that his videos explain how everything's made, it's just unreal. He makes it look so easy and he makes it look so much fun. So that's definitely a person that I would look into. And if not, you can always go into like a fantasy realm, change the way that you're going to be drawing. Maybe you just got tired of drawing just a normal, everyday, normal city. Draw like a troll city. Draw like a Jedi temple. Draw anything that you really like. Just change it to that, and it all starts making so much more sense. And everything starts, once you tailor a little bit more towards what you like, it'll make it a lot easier for you to actually go ahead and draw that. And you're going to want to draw that because it's just going to help build everything you've done before. So maybe if you have a character, draw what his house would look like. What would his car look like? His boat, his motorcycle. Don't limit yourself. Go for it. Once you start figuring out 1 point and 2 point perspectives, that's going to change everything for you as well. These two, anatomy and perspective, they go hand in hand. I would put that above knowing how to put highlights and shadows or anything like that. Because even if you have the most awesome sketch, that's lit and colored perfectly, if there's something wrong with the anatomy or the perspective of the design, it throws everything off so much. So those two are absolutely my top 2 choices. But what do you guys think? How do you guys enjoy the mermaid drawing? Well, hopefully see you guys next week with another topic. I'll leave the comments section open for all of you to actually let me know what you guys would want me to continue doing on this channel. Would really appreciate the feedback. And if you guys enjoyed me ranting and talking and giving you guys a little bit of a, rant, well, hit the like and subscribe. I actually look through every single comment and you guys always make me smile. So there's some more videos up here somewhere. You guys can click on them if you guys want to learn some more. If not, it's okay, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Later, guys.